Hello there, friends. First off, I'm sorry that I wasn't posting anything for a whole week. All this time, there were dozens of qualifying matches at the RMR, and I think you were quite busy yourselves because of that. But finally now, it's all over. So, it's time to talk about what happened this week. How did the qualifiers for the major end, and what's going on in Astralis? Don't forget to press the subscribe button, and we will get straight to the news. And let's talk about the hottest ones first. Yesterday, Astralis announced that they are saying goodbye to K0NFIG. It turns out that everything that was previously written in the media about the fight was true. He confirmed that it really happened in his long Twitter post. K0NFIG tweeted out a post stating that there was a real physical fight. He got into a messy situation started by a club promoter, and the issue was his tattoos. The promoter then initially spat in his face and even kicked him on the head as he was standing a few steps higher. While K0NFIG was recovering from everything that was happening, the promoter went out on the street again. The Danish player went after him to get revenge. Now he regrets that at that moment, he did not decide to go home but got really overwhelmed and succumbed to his emotions. As a result, during the fight, he was severely beaten and his leg was broken. Even more, his phone was taken away. He felt broken down, humiliated, and found himself in hellish pain. Fortunately, there were people who were able to help him, so they took him to the hospital. Then he got to Denmark, where he went through 2 complex surgeries. Now he has a plate in his leg. In general, as he writes, it made him suffer from a terrible pain, and all these weeks he has been in literal hell. He shared that he even thought about giving up, leaving everything for good. He felt incredibly depressed. But now he has recovered and says he is not going to give up. He tells that this situation was given to him as a sort of challenge that will make him stronger. But now apparently, not in Astralis. The organization stated that they decided to terminate the contract in order not to put pressure on him with obligations during such a difficult period for K0NFIG. We wish K0NFIG to get well soon and come back even stronger. The whole pro scene, and in particular Blame F, will miss him very much. Amidst all this, of course, rumors about the return of Device are intensifying. According to the Jackson portal, the organization is at the final stage and Nikolai himself initiated the return to Astralis. Even Glaive himself does not hide the fact that there may be replacements soon. Here's what he said in an interview with HLTV. I know there isn't much you can tell me about the K0NFIG and Device rumors flying around at the moment, but does it affect you coming into a tournament with so much furor surrounding the team? No, I don't really think so, because we all want to go to the major and it means a lot to us. You never know what is going to happen in the future, and that includes everyone on the team, also me. Our results haven't been that great, and I understand that the organization sometimes wants to try something different. You gotta respect it and try to do your best to keep your spot on the team. I feel that it's good to have open and honest conversations about stuff as well, so it's not like everybody knows something but this guy doesn't. I don't think that's good. It's good as it is now, where the coach and the organization are making the hard changes and the players aren't involved. I think that's good. Well, after the Astralis have fallen out of the RMR and will not go to the major, this should be the last straw. We will talk about the results of the RMR a little later. In the meantime, let's talk about G2. As you know, they were also left behind the major. They were defeated by 1 win and Gamer Legion and finished the group with a score of 1-3. That means the team, for the first time in the history of the organization, will not go to the major. This is a huge blow to the club. Their CEO and co-owner, Carlos Ocelot, recently left. Riot didn't let them have a league in Valorant, and now such a failure at the RMR. Immediately, there are a lot of rumors and discussions in the light of current events. Here, for example, is what Kassad, the former coach of 100 Thieves, says. 2021 was the worst year in the history of FaZe, and 2022 was the best. A few right people and a couple of needed replacements may do the same with G2. There are flaws in their system, and this failure was their consequence. Nico, Hunter, and other players will survive this period. It's not the end of the world. Go back to the foundation of the team, find problems, make the right decisions, and move on. At the end of the year, I want to see Kerrigan or Glaive in G2. This will be the champion squad for 2023 and 2024. An alternative option is to switch Nico or Hunter to the role of captain. Hunter is smart enough to perform these duties. After that, you will need to find an aggressive player, someone with a style like Yekinder. Well, that option sounds very good. What do you think? Or should they give the legend Hooksy another chance? Write in the comments. The funny thing is that both former G2 captains went to the major. Alexi B together with NIP managed to do it with an impressive score of 3-0 in the group. Nexa and OG made it to the major for the first time. It's amazing how everything turned out in the end. Well, since we're talking about who went further and who wasn't able to do so, let's take everything in the right order. Navi, who passed with a score of 3-0, made no surprise at all. The fact that NIP did it so easily and beat Cloud9, that's the amazing outcome. It turns out that the problem was definitely not related to Alexi B. FaZe expectedly made it through 3-0, but the results of the matches were surprising. There were overtimes in all the matches, so I wouldn't call their path to be an easy one. Another team with a score of 3-0 is ENCE, and that was a pleasant surprise. Of course, they had their matches easier, but still, a ticket to the major is a success. The most surprising results were shown by Astralis, and G2 will not go to Rio with a bitter aftertaste. The rest of the results are on your screens. Write in the comments who surprised you the most. Share your opinions on who disappointed you. There were enough sensations in the American region too. Evil Geniuses have not lost a single match apart from entering the Legends stage in competition with Liquid. The list goes on. The teams who passed through are 9Z, 00 Nation with Taco and Calzera, Furia, well, and the main drama was related to the fact that Imperial made it through too. The veterans of the Brazilian scene had a chance to have a comeback from the score of 1-2 in the group. Then they had to beat Pain 3-2, and in a gorgeous complexity match. Halzerk definitely shouldn't have shouted this. Fallen.
Thick bangs out with the pistol!
He does it!
Glock shot into Fur, and Brazil bleeds! As Complexity back to winning.
Imperial was on the verge of defeat several times. In the match with Team 1, they made a comeback from the score of 11-15. In the game with Nouns, they even had to do it from the score of 8-15. But the most epic match of the whole tournament was the comeback against Complexity.
And they know where they both are.
Their future's in their hands. Just slipped into, and what if they play for the opposite sides of bathrooms? What if Fang puts this down for Bank? He's gonna get tagged. They press through smoke. They're trying to force the issue. Fang goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, roll out the red carpet. Imperial are going to Rio.
Oh, let the emotions flow. They've done it with all the pressure in the world.
This match became the most viewed among all other regions. More than 500,000 people were watching it at the peak. That's the kind of support and the type of emotion right there. Fallen deserved to be at this major in native Rio. I guess that the esports fairy tale is coming true. Friends, I promise not to disappear for so long anymore. I will keep you up to date with all the news. And we are waiting for the beginning of the major. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.